everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you've gotten yourself nice and settled in because I have a lot of new makeup releases to talk to you about today, both drugstore products and high-end. These are some of the most talked about, hyped up products on social media right now, and I have a lot to say about them. So let's jump right in. Starting off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation. This is a medium to full coverage matte finish foundation. It claims to perfect skin with a blurring, smoothing formula that lasts 12 hours. It comes in 25 shades and retails for $46. It's vegan, cruelty-free, and fragrance-free. So let's start with the packaging. It's beautiful. It's luxe. It's what you would expect from a $46 foundation. I love that it has a pump. I ordered mine directly from the Anastasia Beverly Hills website the day that it launched, and I've been testing it out for the last 4 days, and I am wearing it now. The shade I'm wearing is 3N. I chose shade 3N because my personal preference is to go darker with the foundation versus lighter if I think I'm in between two shades. And I'm saying I think because I ordered it online. So obviously ordering online is a little tricky, and I'll be honest with you, the only way I can wear this foundation shade is if I have self-tanned. Otherwise, it's way too dark. I was expecting it to be a little bit darker than my skin tone, but not as dark and warm as it actually is. That is one thing I have found across the board in reading reviews and watching reviews, is that the shade range runs very, very warm. And people who have more neutral to cool undertones are really not happy about the shade range. So whenever I see a foundation range like this, I wonder how many different skin tones did they test this product on? Because it seems to me that there really aren't enough shades for very light skin, especially with the right undertones, and also for dark skins with the right undertone. So I have a feeling color matching yourself in this foundation is going to be a little bit difficult. So I don't recommend purchasing it online if you can avoid it. But let's talk about the performance. I expected, based on what I'd been hearing, that this foundation was going to blow me away. And I was excited for a number of reasons. I have oily skin. I love a matte finish. I've always been someone who also preferred more medium to full coverage foundations. Plus the claims that it's long wearing and suitable for all skin types, especially oily. There was no way I wasn't trying this foundation. And I'm disappointed. And I'll tell you why. While I do think this foundation applies beautifully, and it does do a really, really good job at reducing the look of my pores and kind of smoothing my skin, giving it an overall airbrushed look. It looks pretty natural on the skin for a medium to full coverage. I'm disappointed because even with the setting spray that I purchased, I get very oily with this foundation. I debated whether I should do a entirely separate dedicated video to this foundation, but I haven't done a one product review in a long, long time. Let me know what you think about one product reviews in the comments. But because I thought I might do a dedicated video, I did some check-ins. I recorded some check-ins on my phone. So I'm gonna play at least one of them for you, possibly two. I do think seeing these is going to be helpful. So let's take a look. Day 1, 8 hours in. I'm about to remove my makeup for the day. And this is what we're looking like. So I'm definitely not matte. I definitely, if I were going to leave the house right now, would have to powder. I'm surprised I lost coverage on my chin. And I guess I'm surprised because just everything else has held up so well, and everything was holding up so well for so long. And my chin is not usually an area that I lose coverage. If I'm going to lose coverage, it's usually like around my nose, but not normally on my chin. And I was trying to think, like, did I wipe my mouth? So maybe I did wipe my mouth. That's why I'm making this a multiple day wear test, because we've got to take the info from a number of days before I can give you like a real true rating of this foundation. For the first 2 days of trying this foundation, I did not use any sort of primer. If you read the directions that ABH put out regarding using this foundation, they want you to use water-based skincare products or primers. I think most of us are aware by now that if you're going to use a water-based foundation, it is best to use a water-based primer. And if you're using a silicone-based foundation, ideally you would want to use a silicone-based primer. So I was talking to my friend and fellow YouTuber, Stephanie Marie. We were trying the foundation at the same time. She's more combo to oily skinned and lives in a humid climate. I am very oily skinned but live in a dry climate. So most of the time we kind of balance each other out. We have a lot of the same opinions on a lot of foundations. So she texted me about this one, asking me about the whole water-based thing because she looked at the ingredients. 2 of the first 3 ingredients are silicones. And the reason why she brought that up was because she had been trying it with water-based primers and they just weren't working. So since she said that, I decided to try the foundation with a couple of different primers, and my results have always been the same. Within about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, the oils on my skin come through, like a lot. I'm just way more shiny than I expected to be with the foundation that's claiming that it's good for all skin types, especially oily. So I guess the bottom line is I just had higher expectations. And if you are watching this and you have normal to dry skin, you might want to give this foundation a try because it is really pretty on the skin. It does have a blurring effect. It is truly comfortable to wear, and you will get long wear time, just maybe not as long as it claims. So now let's talk about the setting spray. I have the same thoughts about this as well. I'm disappointed. It says here that it is a 24-hour matte setting spray that blurs, hydrates, and locks in makeup for a non-drying skin-like finish. I wouldn't say that I noticed that the spray blurs my skin any more than the foundation already did. What I find to be true is that it is hydrating, it is skin-like, the packaging is pretty, the mist is very fine, it's not sticky, it smells good, but is it miles better than any other setting spray I've talked about on my channel? No. To be honest with you, I still prefer my Makeup by Mario setting spray or my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, even the Urban Decay setting spray that's been around forever. All right, now let's talk about the newest shades of Patrick Ta's Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duos. I have posted a couple of shorts videos testing out She Goes to the Gym and She Left Me on Red. I will link both of those YouTube shorts in the description box of this video. Believe it or not, these are my 2 favorite shades. She Knows Who She Is and She Left Me on Red. If you apply these with a light hand, they look stunning on light skin. When I posted those shorts videos, a lot of people asked if I could try She's Seductive. So I actually put this one on today. I think it's pretty, but it almost pulls too brown, and I feel like I'm noticing some ashiness in this area. It took a lot of layering to even get this much color to my cheeks, and you know I like blush. I like a real blushy look. I've got to say I'm not loving this on me. I actually prefer She's Blushing. She's Blushing has a little bit more of a rosiness. It's coming up sort of peachy looking on camera, but I promise you, it doesn't look very peachy on the cheek. She's Seductive is slightly more brown. So I think that's the problem I'm having with it, is that it's just pulling too brown for my skin tone. As for the other 3 shades, I absolutely love them. This is the brush that Patrick also launched with these new blush duos. Because I'm not wild about how my cheeks look right now, I'm going to put a little bit of She Knows Who She Is on top. I think it'll also tie in with the lip that I have on. And I'm going to go with the cream. Just going to pat into the cream, tap off any excess onto the plastic, and pat it on. Yes, this is better for my skin tone and for the overall look of my makeup today. I really, really like it. So I do recommend these darker or brighter shades, but I probably already said this 5 times already, but you do need to be careful with them. That said, I find that these two shades are longer wearing than these two shades. She Goes to the Gym and She's Seductive. I find that with these two, and a couple of the other Patrick Ta blush shades as well, their longevity isn't consistent. It's not consistent from shade to shade. At least that's been my experience. So even though the darker or brighter shades aren't as beginner friendly or as user friendly as some of the lighter, more natural looking shades, they do last longer. In my humble opinion, of course. Moving on to lips. Today I am wearing one of these NYX Lip I.V Hydrating Gloss Serums. I purchased two shades, Drippin' in Rose and Bubblegum Burst. Today I'm wearing Bubblegum Burst. And this is such a cool product. I really, really am liking these. They go on like a gloss, but they have a sort of gel-like consistency. This color is so pretty and a nice change from my usual nude or nude pink lip combos. And what's great about these is not only do they feel so good going on, they feel good the whole time you're wearing them. And should you eat something greasy like a Caesar salad, once that gloss disappears or it's just worn off over the course of the day, you're still left with this beautiful stain. And the stain is pretty transfer proof. You can see a little bit of my lip liner on the outer edges, but overall, the color is just there. And you could go ahead and put a different lip product on top of that, a different gloss if you wanted to. So I think I'm gonna put this new Makeup by Mario gloss on top, switch it up a little bit, and talk about this gloss because it is also new. It is also pretty viral on social media. And I've got to say, I was correct in my assumption of this gloss. It's okay. There's nothing amazing about it. There's nothing unique about it like the NYX. It's a pretty basic gloss. The colors are pretty. They smell good. It's a good size for an evening bag, but just like how I described the ABH Setting Spray, I'm going to say something similar about the gloss. Drugstore is just doing so well with makeup lately that unless you want to, and that's totally fine. I know plenty of people who never buy drugstore makeup. They refuse to buy drugstore makeup. They only want to buy high end. If that's you, that's totally fine. This is a very nice gloss. But if you're budget conscious and you don't want to spend $20-something on a lip gloss unless it's going to be a very different type of shade or it does something unique that other glosses don't do, you can easily pass on this one. Once again, I'm not saying it's a bad product. I'm saying that if you skip it, if you don't have one of these in your makeup bag, you're really not missing much. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you the shade of this one. It's called Perfect Pink. It's certainly coming up pretty bright over the NYX stain. And now I'm noticing as I'm looking in the viewfinder, do you see how shiny I'm getting? I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but yeah, I'm just so bummed because I really, really wanted this combo to be my dream and for me to stay matte for like 8-10 hours, and I just don't think it's ever going to happen. Oh, by the way, I outlined my lips today with the new Cool Spice lip liner from MAC. This is supposed to be the original Spice from the 90s. I wish I had kept one of my Spice liners from the 90s. I know I owned it because we all did, but I don't know. I don't recall it looking like this. This is kind of like a mauve-y brown. A few people have said that even though it's named Cool Spice, they don't find it to be cool toned. I think it is, especially next to the original, well, not the original, the current Spice. So these are the two side by side. Cool Spice is on top, regular Spice is underneath. So I currently have Cool Spice on, although some of it got removed with the blotting. But I actually think that Spice goes better with this combo. Why am I doing this? Because I'm going to take all of this off anyway to try, oh boy, the new Hourglass shades. I say, oh boy, because I don't know how true to color these are gonna come up with the stain underneath. Okay, let's wipe off. And you know, I think I can use the foundation, or the skin tint that I'm going to be talking about in this video from Milani, to cancel out the color on my lips. Actually, before I talk about the new shades of Hourglass Phantom Glossy Balms, let's talk about this Milani Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. I purchased it in the shade 6 Light. I can't even describe to you how bad my skin looked with this foundation. Shade 6 is a true light neutral, but this looked so bad. It offered very little coverage. I mean, it is, to be fair, a skin tint, and skin tints typically don't have that much coverage, but I guess I was expecting just a little bit more coverage and not so much patchiness. I couldn't figure out if this was just meant to be worn under makeup, but even under makeup, I can't see a foundation going on top of this and looking right either. I've never been a huge fan of stick foundations anyway, but I've been using the new-ish Dior stick foundation, and I've been loving that. I like the coverage, the finish, it has a decent wear time, but this was a no-go. And then I actually made it worse by applying this e.l.f. Halo Glow powder on top. I know better than to purchase anything that says glow, or not that I shouldn't purchase it, that I need to be careful, that I need to wait for reviews. I did not do that in this case. I just saw a new product from e.l.f., something that I thought my viewers might be interested in, and let's just say this did not work out. I wish I had filmed what my skin looked like, what my base looked like, using this and then putting this on top. I was a splotchy disco ball. I don't know if it has shimmers in it. I don't think it does. My eyesight is not good at all, as many of you know. I am just shocked that it says here that it helps blur the look of pores and reduce the look of excess oil for a soft, focused glow. Use on its own or to set and refresh makeup for long-lasting wear. And the reviews are pretty good for it. Maybe I should try touching up with it. Oh, there's supposed to be a puff. I lost the puff already, but I have another puff right here. So let's see. Maybe it was just bad over the Milani. Oh, that was a horrible idea. Big mistake. It looks really, really cakey. This is the shade Light Neutral, so it also might just be a little light in comparison to the foundation I'm wearing today. I'm not trying to make excuses for it. I'm just kind of, what's coming out of my mouth is what's in my brain right now, and it's just a whole plethora of random thoughts. Okay, I gotta figure out a way to fix what's going on here. Okay, I put a little bit more powder blush on to try and fix things. I think we're looking a little bit better. But now I need to show you the lip color, the new shades of Hourglass Phantom Glossy Balms. There was a glitch on the Ulta website the day that these launched. And the glitch was the price. They had them for $17.50, the 3 new shades, versus their $35 price tag. Somebody had posted about the glitch on their Instagram stories, another content creator, I can't remember who it was, but I thought, no, that can't be true. So I went right over to the Ulta website, and sure enough, half price. Actually, let me see if they are still half price. This was about a week ago, so probably not. One of the new shades is Invite, which is described as a rosy brown with gold pearl, and no, $38. So I was wrong, not even $35, $38. So let's put Invite on. I wore this in a video I posted to Instagram last week, and a few people asked me what I was wearing, and it was this beautiful shade called Invite. This color is so good, but so is the next one. I don't know why I didn't buy the 3rd shade. I think it just sounded like too dark for me, maybe. It's called Secret 85, and it's described as a deep rose with rose gold pearl. I don't know why I didn't get that one. But the other shade I got is Wander 75, a soft peachy pink with gold and silver pearl. Wait till you see this. I'm actually going to apply Cool Spice first. And this is Wander 75. It's a little bit lighter and peachier than the other one. I love this formula so much. If you're going to buy a high-end gloss or glossy product, please do yourself a favor and get one of these instead of one of these. Yes, these are more money, but I think they feel better on the lips. I think you're just going to enjoy one of these more than you will this. All right, now let's talk about this Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette. This is a great little palette. This is definitely a must-have if you don't already have something similar in your makeup collection. If you have Makeup by Mario Master Mattes in your collection, or if you have the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions, I think it's volume 3, the all matte palette, you don't need this. Unless you want something this size for travel or to keep in your makeup drawer at work or your makeup bag, it's perfect for that. And it's perfect for someone who just likes basic matte shadows, doesn't want to have a lot of selection. And what I mean by that is I know a lot of people, including myself sometimes, they get overwhelmed when an eyeshadow palette has just 10 or 12 shades in it. So this is great for a beginner, for mature skin, somebody who just wants matte eyeshadows. You want just a simple, easy go-to palette for daytime to nighttime looks, because you can always use this as a base for your eye makeup look and then just add like a little pop of shimmer to the lid if you wanted to. Both the black and the brown shades work perfectly as eyeliner. So this is a great little palette, but do you need to have it if you own the other palettes I mentioned? Probably not. Again, unless you want it for travel or just your on-the-go makeup bag. I saw my friend and fellow content creator Rebecca, also known as Frugy Blog, post a little tutorial, a little eye tutorial on Instagram using this palette, which is called In Neutral. Wander Beauty just came out with it, and I immediately had to get it. I went over to the Wander Beauty page and I looked at more, swatches and videos of the palette, and it was one of those times I said to myself, I need that palette. Do I really need it? No, but testing products is my job. And sometimes I feel like I talk, not just me, but a lot of us content creators, we talk about the same products and the same brands all the time. It's nice to throw in a more underrated brand or product once in a while. Look at how stunning this is. I used it on my eyes today. If you have fair, light, or light medium skin, and you don't like to wear bold colors, you want a really nice, soft, everyday neutral palette, you've got to try this one, once again called In Neutral. I honestly don't think that someone with deep or dark skin is going to love this. I think the shades are definitely more conducive to those of us that have a lighter skin tone. There is an indie brand called Sydney Grace that seems to always come out with 2 versions of any eyeshadow palette they do. One for fair light skin tones and one for medium and dark skin tones. And I realize not every brand is going to do that or can do that, but it's a great idea, because sometimes when you've got a palette like this, while it might be suitable for a lot of people, it's not going to work for everyone. Now, I haven't tried using the shimmers with a damp brush yet. I'm going to assume that you can get even more pigment from those shimmers using a damp brush, but I found the pigmentation of the shimmers just using my finger to be absolutely beautiful. So, so pretty. And you can layer them so that they pack even more of a punch. If you know me, you know I love a little bit of shimmer on that lid. This is the new Kosas corrector. They came out with 3 new corrector shades. They're called Revealer Extra Bright Serum Powered Color Correctors for Dark Circles. They actually came out with 5 shades. The one I have in my hand is called Magic, and it is pink for very light to light skin tones. And then they also sent me Illusion, which is a pink peach for light to medium skin tones. This retails for $32, and I don't think it's worth the money. There are so many other color correctors that I think are better than this. I love Kosas as a brand. I truly do. I think they have so many excellent, excellent products, but I've never loved the Kosas concealer, and I just don't love the brightener. I just don't feel the formula is as long wearing as I would like it to be. I feel like the coverage when it comes to the concealer itself could stand to be a little bit better. What I'm finding overall is that serum concealers, while they might have great benefits for the under eye skin over time, they just don't have the coverage or the longevity that most of us, I think, are looking for. I don't have the darkest circles in the world, but some days, I'm sure just like you, my dark circles are very apparent, more so than other days, and I'm looking for a concealer that's going to knock out that discoloration without looking heavy, cakey, creasing, and I want it to last all day. I want that coverage to last all day. And I'm just finding that with many serum-based concealers, that's just not really happening for me. So I don't love the Kosas concealer. I don't love the brightener. If you are looking for a brightener at Sephora, I would go for the one by Cali Ray. It's a little bit less money, but it's a better formula in my opinion. It offers better coverage, better longevity. So the Cali Ray Hideaway Brightening and Hydrating Under Eye Color Corrector Concealer would be my high-end choice for color corrector that you can find easily at Sephora. A good drugstore priced color corrector is this one by Catrice. All right, I really hope you all enjoyed hearing my thoughts on some of the hottest, most viral makeup releases. There were definitely some hits. There were definitely some misses, some disappointments, some pleasant surprises. I will have all of the products listed and linked in the description box. If you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up, leaving me a comment, perhaps sharing it with a friend. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and TikTok. My username is the same on every platform. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.